A message that seems to pop up when I ask about the fitness industry quite often is trainers not using the allotted time with a client. So, you pay for an hour, you expect to get an hour. Now, yes, that's right. And at UP, if we see somebody letting their client go 15 minutes early or coming late, if we see it, that trainer will be spoken to, it will be investigated, they will be disciplined. We're having like a non-negotiable policy on being late, for instance, things like that. However, just as with everything in life, there is nuance to this, and it's a nuance that we need to think about. So, if I have a client who comes to me, they're tired, they're a bit sick, they're hungover, they've not been sleeping well, I, as a professional, have a decision to make. Do I train them? If I send them home, do I charge them? Depends on the client, right? Depends on the relationship with the client. If a client is always turning up massively hungover and I send them home, I'm probably going to charge them. If it's a one-off, if it's a rarity, if it's an illness with a good client, of course you don't charge them. But on the other hand, what about the client who is fatigued but needs a training session? What about a client who's going to be deloaded? What do? Do you train them for the hour? No, you don't. You train them for less time than that. Now, there is also the argument, you've trained them for 40 minutes, there's 20 minutes left, what do? Very rarely would it be, go, leave the gym. It might be, we'll do mobility work, but, sometimes a half-hour session on the gym or 20 minutes on the gym or 40 minutes, sometimes that's the best thing to do. And it's not to give them mobility work, it's to get them off, put some food in them, whatever it may be, give them a shake. But what do? You sit down with them and you have a chat. You sit down with them and you go over the things that maybe you've not gone over. You sit down with them and go, right, let's just do a 10-minute quick review on diet. Let's make sure you're understanding everything. Let's talk about the things that maybe we don't get the chance to cover when we're in a session. So, long story short, I don't believe there's ever an excuse not to give a client the full hour, but the full hour doesn't necessarily have to be on the gym floor.